If you listen to sports media, your Shannon Sharps, Nick Wrights, and to a lesser extent Gilbert Arenas of the world, you would think that the Los Angeles Lakers were mere months away from hoisting another Larry O'Brien trophy. Now that could be true, and I will come back and admit if I'm wrong, but here's the fact that they have failed to convey to their audience. The Los Angeles Lakers are not even in the playoffs yet. Yes, you heard me, the Lakers are currently and will probably finish in the 9th place in the Western Conference this season. It makes me laugh when Shannon Sharp, with way too much emotion, tells us why the Lakers are much more of a threat in the playoffs than the Los Angeles Clippers, which may end up being true, but again, there's a fact that he's skipping over. The Clippers are firmly in the playoffs, so they will be there definitely. The Lakers, well, seeing as they are the 9th seed, will have to win not one, but 2 games to punch their ticket into the 8th spot and into the playoff bracket. Now there's a possibility if Phoenix or Sacramento just absolutely free fall from now until the last regular season game and the Lakers continue to win, but is that even feasible to say? So I have to go with what is current, and they're currently in the 9th spot. That being said, and giving you the truth about what is going on in the grand scheme of the upcoming playoffs, this is one of the main reasons why the Clutch Sports claim comes up when people outside of certain media outlets talk about the narratives being pushed. It's just kind of blatant the way every single sports show, no matter what network it is, almost like clockwork, begin their shows with some type of content about LeBron James and the Lakers. It almost takes an act of God for them to start off a show during the NBA season without mentioning them in some capacity. For me, it's partially irritating and infuriating how they soak up so much talk time in a season where the future of the league is literally taking leaps and bounds, but they would rather focus all their time on relics of the sport. I mean, imagine if LeBron James, and to a lesser extent Steph Curry, decide to retire after this offseason. Shows like First Take, Undisputed, First Things First, NBA Today would be kicking themselves that they didn't focus more on Anthony Edwards and his rise, or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and his ascension. Listen to what Nick Wright had to say about a month ago when the Lakers weren't playing at their best.
I think the NBA can't help themselves but to put those 2 guys and Kevin Durant front and center.
Yeah.
And I think it's a mistake. I think that I'll mix metaphors a bit. Let's say you told FS1, I'm gone in 2 years. You told them, I'm gone. And they looked at the numbers and they said, okay, Colin Show's the strongest show. He's our biggest brand. He's all of it. And they put all of the marketing behind you because they're like, well, it gets the best numbers. It's this. Then the moment you leave,
right?
There's not they haven't built anything up. The NBA, in my opinion, should say, okay, Lakers Warriors will do the best number, but we can get 80% of the audience if we feature Anthony Edwards, and we need to start getting the public ready for when LeBron and Steph aren't there. And instead, the NBA just keeps riding these guys.
Even though it's hard to really spotlight Victor Wembanyama outside of his individual feats, he's someone else they could have given an extra 5 or 10 minutes to, talking to the listeners and watchers so that they might have even more of a reason to watch the alien of a player he's becoming. The fixation for pushing the Lakers as legitimate threats before they're even in is ultimately disrespectful to other teams vying for playoff spots as well. Since the inception of the play-in tourney, only the Lakers have ever gotten any respectable talk when it comes to chances. Maybe the 2022 Brooklyn Nets, who were swept in the first round by the eventual Eastern Conference rep in the finals, the Boston Celtics. At least some are getting it. Listen to Kendrick Perkins actually speak some sense to Shannon Sharp.
You know what that is,
No.
You know what that is? You know what that is, Molly? It's an old saying. You can smell doo-doo before you see it. We've been smelling doo-doo the whole season long when it comes down to the Lakers. Like they sitting in a nice spot. So what are we talking about? First of all, they got to get into the postseason.
Yet this was Shannon's last remark.
You can say whatever you want to say. There'll never, ever be the expectations on the Clippers as they are LeBron James, regardless of the team that he's on. You know that, I know that.
And fans having to listen to this delusion.
Molly, between us and the Clippers, it doesn't matter. We can be the 8 seed, the 1 seed, or mustard seed. Okay. Lakers in
This literally is glorifying mediocrity. I could understand if key pieces were out for most of the season, but Gabe Vincent and Jarred Vanderbilt aren't exactly the missing link to them catapulting over the other well-playing Western Conference teams. Plus, Anthony Davis has played the bulk of this season and played well, but yet they sit in the ninth spot. At the same time, the Warriors, who at one point was swapping the 9th and 10th spot with the Lakers, seem to get talked about with a little less oomph in their chest than the Lakers, and I get it. The Warriors are much older, but if all things stay the same, they're just as much of a threat in a high-stakes playing game as the Lakers. We even have Nick Wright suggesting that the Lakers, who again have to make it into the playoffs, try to maneuver themselves to play the Denver Nuggets.
So I think I'm more down on the quality of the roster than you guys, because I'm looking at it from the prism of in a postseason series. So right now, D'Lo's playing great. So has played great for a month. I think D'Lo is against good teams almost unplayable in the postseason. And I think he's shown that his entire career. I think that a guy you guys mentioned, Jackson Hayes, who has, listen, he was a lottery pick for New Orleans. He's athletic, he's big. Jackson Hayes cannot play in the postseason.
So here is the take that's going to sound ridiculous, but I truly believe the Lakers should want Denver in round 1.
A Denver Nuggets team they haven't beaten since 2022. Make it make sense. Not to mention the opening segment and our biggest talking point are the Lakers. Yet they could realistically have to play the hottest team right now in the NBA, Houston Rockets, on a 10-game winning streak, just to have to either play Phoenix or Sacramento on their home court. But if we listen to these guys, all of that is a done deal, and we can book Lakers and Nuggets in the first round of the 2024 playoffs. I'm not fully anti-Lakers. In fact, they're good for the NBA in the playoffs because they bring in the eyeballs. It's just a narrative that is pushed over and over that when they win a few games, they're suddenly the top contender in the NBA, and any other newsworthy topic is pushed down the line or glossed over. I mean, we do have our Chris Broussards, at times Stephen A. Smiths, and now shockingly Kendrick Perkins, who speak some sense and actually look at the bigger picture instead of being a prisoner of the moment every morning or afternoon. The others will give you 80 reasons why this is the Lakers' year, and they are a force, but won't tell us that of the remaining possible teams to get in the playoffs out west, the Lakers have the absolute worst defense of them all. What is the popular phrase? Defense wins championships. Of the last 4 champions, only the Milwaukee Bucks won it all, with, compared to the other Eastern teams, the worst defense, which is shocking in my opinion. Golden State and Denver both had top 2 defenses in the West the years they won, but they could prove me wrong. And I'll definitely admit if I'm wrong. Either way, can we pump the brakes on crowning a team that isn't even officially in the playoffs as the biggest threat to win it before the play-in tournament even starts? But what do you all think? Is media giving a little too much love to the Lakers as a 9th seed and crowning them prematurely, or is it justified? Let me know down in the comments section. I would also like to thank everyone for helping the channel reach 1,000 subs. Really appreciate it and hope to continue to make more content for you guys. Thank you for watching, and be back soon with more content.